Hola everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I am sharing my recipe for a dry lamb masala that is cooked to perfection. It is marinated with the perfect blend of spices and it is excellent with roti, or you can have it with dal and rice. However you serve it, this is delicious. So here I have about a pound of lamb, which is about half a kg. You can easily double this recipe. I'm using a bone-in shoulder cut. It does not have a lot of bones in it. So you do want to pay attention to the cut of lamb you're using because that will impact your cook time. I'm marinating with yogurt and a few spices. I will list all of that in the description box, and a link to the recipe will also be provided. You want to ideally marinate this overnight. However, I marinated for an hour and it turned out just as good. So if you're short on time, you can do it for about an hour. You want to cover this and let this rest. If you do put this in the refrigerator during marination, I do recommend you take it out and leave it on the countertop for about 30 minutes so it can come to room temperature. In a pan over medium heat, I'm adding a couple of tablespoons of ghee. Feel free to use any oil of your choice, and you can reduce that to about a tablespoon if you prefer. I'm going to add my onions and saute them until they're golden. Very important that you let this saute up for at least 4 to 5 minutes or until they're nice and golden. Helps develop a great flavor profile. Then we're going to go in with the rest of our ingredients, which is the chili pepper, the garlic, and the curry leaves. I'm also adding in some cumin and sauteing that up before I add in the spices. I'll have all the spices linked down below, and I'll also add the recipe in the description box. I do want to add that at this point, if you wanted to add a different blend of spices, in addition to these masalas, it's absolutely okay. I like to add tandoori masala sometimes. I recommend adding maybe a tablespoon of two of different types of masalas just to change up the dish. Achari masala does give this a nice different flavor profile. So does tandoori masala. So play around with the flavors. I'm adding some tomato paste here. If you don't have tomato paste, you can use fresh tomatoes or tomato sauce. Just let that cook up and break down before you add in the meat. Here I'm adding salt and black pepper to taste. The black pepper gives it a good flavor enhancement too. It enhances the flavor, as does the salt. Then I'm going to cover this up and let this cook in its own juices until it starts becoming dry like this. At this point, I'm going to add in some hot water. You don't want to use cold water because it brings out the temperature of the dish too much. So to keep it continuously cooking, I like to add in hot water, and then just let it cook on medium heat, stirring it a few times in between for about 30 minutes. Depending on your cut of lamb, that could vary. You want to keep stirring it because it will start burning at the bottom. If at any point you feel like you need to add more water, feel free to do so as long as your lamb cooks through. Now I like to get mine really nice and dry so the spices adhere to the lamb really well and it gets like a charred look almost. And after that, I like to garnish up with some cilantro. You don't have to if you don't want to, if you can't have cilantro. This would be good with some chives on top too, or green onions. But this is now done. This is so good. When I made this, I wanted to make sure I re-record this to share the recipe because it turned out so good. So I hope you guys give this a try. Have it with some hot roti. It's also good with dal and rice, or however you want to serve it. Give it a try and let me know what you think of it. Alright guys, that's it for me. Until next time, take care, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye bye.